Good morning. Welcome back to Calvin Chin's Martial Arts Academy. This is our all ages beginner and / intermediate Hung Kuen Kung Fu class. As per usual, we're going to run through a series of fundamental warm-ups. We're going to do some punches, some kicks. We'll do the 5 stances drill that we start everybody out with here. And then we'll run through some of the first forms that we teach here as well. And we'll do those in fairly strong detail. All of this is done at an instructional pace. If you can't see something, try to also check the image in the mirror, because a lot of times if my back is turned to you, you should still be able to see the image in the mirror. Otherwise, we'll do everything we can to make sure that you can see. And also, if you haven't already, please click subscribe, like, share all of these videos that we have. We stream live classes 4 days a week. We've been doing so for the last 5 months. We have just around 400 classes archived on our YouTube channel here. And we're almost at 1,000 subscribers. We have 946 subscribers right now. If we get to 1,000, we get monetized by YouTube, which means that we don't have to ask any of you, our viewers, for financial support. And that would really help us out and to help ensure that we can continue to keep offering all this content, because we have, quite a bit of money invested in cameras and equipment and the space. As you see, it's a pretty nice space, and all of those things have a cost associated with them. So hopefully you can just click that subscribe and like button, and that goes a long way to help out our efforts. So in any case, here we go. Feet shoulder width, nice big hoop, and we turn. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Reaching over. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Raising the arms, we're going to stretch towards the floor. 1, 2, 3. To your right, 2, 3. To your left, 2, 3. Middle once. Standing up, we inhale and exhale. And again, 1, 2, 3. To your right, 2, 3. To your left, 2, 3. Middle once. Inhale and exhale. And again, 1, 2, 3. To your right, 2, 3. To your left, 2, 3. Middle once. Inhale and exhale. Hands on your waist, rotation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. We switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Let's cross the arms, knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Let's switch hands, switch directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Hands on the waist, turning the head side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Tilting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Rotation, looking all the way around, 1, 2, and 3. And we switch, 1, 2, and 3. Now we open our feet, arms out. Oh, hold on, got to fix my mic here. Never wants to stay on. Turning the waist, looking behind you, 1, 2, arms just go along for the ride, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to cross our fingers, turn to the right, let the left heel up. 1, 2, 3. We switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, and 3. Both feet flat, right leg straight, and we stretch. Let's switch. Switch and toe up. And we switch, toe up. We stand up, turn to the right, legs straight, bending at the waist. We switch, turn to your left, to the middle, let's bring the feet in, toes out, elbows between the knees, opening up that hip joint. Stretching the ankle as well. We sit, feet together, butterfly position. We're going to put the right foot out, keeping the left foot in, stretch towards the right foot. Switch. Both feet out front, bounce, switch, and up. All right, so next up we're going to open up into a horse stance, and we're going to do a series. We'll do Ping Choi, which is a reverse punch. Okay, we're going to do low, middle, and high blocks, and then combinations of, and then we'll move on. So we start in a ready position. Ready position is basically your feet slightly separated apart. They're parallel, straight line between your toes, hands at your sides, your body straight, and most importantly, our eyes are focused in front. We make fists, pull our elbows back, the fists go to the waist, knuckles up, bend the knees, heels, toes, heels, and finally toes. Your feet should be parallel. There should be a straight line from toe to toe. Your knees are bent outward. This is why they call it a horse stance. Looks like you're riding on a big, fat, healthy horse. You don't want to ride on a skinny horse with the knees in. Fists on the waist. And here we go, reverse punch, or also called a flat punch, or also called Ping Choi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. Up. Sometimes these mics just do not want to stay on. I don't know if it's my ears or what, but sorry if I have to keep adjusting. Now we're going to do a low block. Press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Closing. 1, 2. Middle block. Come across the body, stopping at the shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. High block. Lift up the middle. The bent wrist should be lined up in the center. If you line up your fingertips in the middle, it can be broken through. Here, it's going to create that deflective wedge. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. Now we're going to do Lim Wam Sam Sik. All three on the same arm. Low, middle, high. Switch. Low, middle, high. Low, middle, high. Low, middle, high. Low, middle, high. Low, middle, and high. Closing. 1, 2. Now we're going to do low block with a punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. Now we're going to do middle block with a punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. High block with a punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. Okay, now we're going to do Danji Kyosil. Out to the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's go low. 1, 2. Fingers towards each other, elbows out. You don't want to straighten the arms and you don't want to bend the waist. Keep your back straight. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Going high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Last section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Thrust out, flip, roll, press. Thrust out, flip, roll, press. Thrust out, flip, roll, press, and we close. 1, 2. Closing our feet. Shake it out. Deep breathing, palms up, elbows down, elbows out. Inhale. Slowly exhale. Again, palms up, elbows down, elbows out. Inhale and exhale. One more time, palms up, elbows down, elbows out. Inhale and exhale. Very good. Left hand on the waist, feet shoulder width. We're going to make a fist with the right hand. Bring that fist to the center. You want to lift the elbow, pushing the fist straight out. Drop the elbow, bringing the fist straight back. You don't want your fist to travel in an arc like this. We call this knocking on the door. And there's not a lot of leverage, not very powerful. So from here, from the center, thrust out and back. Here we go. Punch. Okay, let's switch. Punch. You want to keep your arms relaxed, the body relaxed. The fist is the only thing that's hard. Like a stone on a rope. Turn to the side. So you're going to turn your head to the side, bring your fist to the side of the body, but you're not going to turn your body to the side. Keep your body facing the front and we punch. Okay, switch, punch. Okay, stop. Both fists up by your ears. Elbows are vertical, and we turn. Hewa choi. Alternating punch. Make sure your other fist comes vertically up by your ear. This protects you on that side. If you do this, you're still wide open at the head. Okay, stop. Bina choi, edge of the fist. We're going to raise the elbow, strike out with the edge of the fist, and come back. Okay, switch, punch. Okay, stop. Chaelon choi, cartwheel punch. One fist cycles over the other. It's a circular pattern, but the fist at the edge of that circle where it's directly in front is extended. Not locked, but extended. Okay, stop. Before we continue, just a quick explanation of that punch, right? What we're trying to do is we're trying to reap down to bring the person's guard. If someone's on guard, they have their hands up. To reap down, bring that first hand down, come over the top, and just keep cycling forward. Probably this punch would be most effective if you were using your footwork to advance. If you just stand here, maybe you're going to pull the person's fist down and hit them once or twice. But if they step back or they fall back, you'd want to follow with your own footwork. Okay, so back of the fist. Kwa choi, same as the edge of the fist, just with the wrist turn so the knuckles are facing the chest, and we're striking with the back of the fist. Okay, switch and punch. Okay, good. Lightly touching with your left toe, suspended or cat stance, left fist out, right hand's in a low guard position, and we switch and punch. Very good. Deep breathing. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. So one thing just to clarify, typically, in fact not typically, in all cases, I'm usually behind the scenes running all of our camera equipment and the streaming setup. In this room we have 3 cameras, one directly in front, one at a high angle, and one directly to the side, and we use those cameras, those different camera angles and the mirrors so that everybody can see from the best possible vantage point. When I'm in front of the camera, there's nobody running the equipment or editing, cutting from one camera angle to the other. So this front camera is the only angle that we have. I do try to use the mirrors still, and after we get through the kicks, you'll see also when we do 5 stances, I take it to 4 directions so that hopefully you can see from multiple different vantage points, and hopefully that's useful to you. But just to understand why we only have one camera angle, in the times that I'm teaching, it's because I'm the only person who does the editing in the back end, and I'm not editing if I'm in front of the camera. Okay, so that being said, we're going to do 6 kicks each. Left foot forward, right foot back. Your right leg is straight. Your left knee is bent over the toe. And the toe of your left foot lines up with the heel of your right. Left hand on top, we're going to punch toe out, lift the knee, kick with the toe, step back, and punch. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good. Switch. Again, left foot forward. We're kicking with the right. Same procedure as far as the punch, toe out, but we're going to lift the knee and push out with the heel, the bottom of the foot. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good. Let's switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's switch. Next kick is Chun Samhoi. Straight leg kick with the toes pointing up. You want to keep the leg straight the entire way. When you bring it back, you can utilize it as a sweep. We want to end up in the same stance we started. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good. Switching again. Left foot in front. Wong So Hui. This is a horizontal round kick. This kick, the mechanics are a little different. The setup with the punch and the toe out's the same. So we punch, toe out. We don't want to just bring our foot up at an angle, kind of lose power that way. So when we toe out, we're going to lift the knee and then turn the hip over as we turn. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good. Got to fix my mic again. And deep breathing. If you want to take a quick break, just to get a quick sip of water, and we're going to continue with 5 stances. So, 5 stances is a drill that we start everybody on. Outside of these exercises, you might notice if you've been tuning in for any amount of time now, we do the same series of warm-up exercises, stretching, punching, kicks, bridge work, every class in the same order. The idea behind this is that we're trying to build muscle memory so that you don't have to think about the mechanics of how something happens. Every time you punch, it's consistent. Every time you block, whether it's a middle block with the open hand this way or a middle block with the open hand this way, that it's consistent each time. So building in muscle memory is really the only way to do that. If you want to have mastery of anything, whether it's carpentry or, I don't know, physics, anything you want mastery of, you have to practice over and over and over again until it becomes really familiar to you. And so that's kind of one of the approaches that we use here at Calvin Chin's Martial Arts Academy. So that being said, we're going to do 5 stances. I'm going to do it to 4 directions. Each time I'll be taking a left turn. So I'm going to start with my back to you. We're going to go this way, towards camera, across, and back. Okay, 4 sides. You can also use the mirrors. And I'm going to do this at a pace where you can see each individual technique and transition as we go. It's important that we're able to connect the lower half of the body with the upper half of the body. All right? So here we go. Also, I'm going to adjust my stepping just to make sure I stay in frame. We make fists, raise them up. Up. Some of you who do Hung Kuen will recognize this as a gunji opening. Palms up, make fists, pull, vertical. Open and we push out. 1, 2, 3. Double elbow, press, thrust, press, and big hoop, we close. Right fist on top of the left, step out to an offset horse stance. That's toe to heel, Chun Cheurng. Sliding step, punch. Left hand underneath, step all the way through, elbow, punch. Toe out, big cross step, big hoop, turn, dragon whips tail, spin out, corner back fist to the head, Chun, cat stance, punch. Step straight back, cover, high block, low block, left knee up, chop, uppercut, close. So that's our first direction. Our next direction, we're going to head towards camera. Right fist on top, Chun. Sliding step, punch. Left hand underneath, elbow, punch. Toe out, big cross step, dragon whips tail. Corner back fist to the head, intercept, punch. Cover, high block, low block, left knee up, chop, uppercut, close. I'm going to move this way just to stay in frame. Here's our third direction. Make fists. Right fist on top, step out, Chun. Sliding step, punch. Left hand underneath, elbow, punch. Toe out, big cross step, hoop, dragon whips tail. Corner back fist, Chun. Cat stance, punch. Step back, cover. Leaning stance, high block, low block, left knee up, uppercut, we close. All right, here we go, the last direction. I'm going to offset from the camera so you can see, hopefully in the mirror as well. Right fist on top, Chun. Sliding step, punch. Left hand underneath, elbow, punch. Toe out, big cross step, dragon whips tail, corner back fist, intercept, punch. Step straight back, cover. High block, low block, left knee up, chop. Uppercut, and we close. So let's do deep breathing. So hopefully that was something that you could follow along with. As I said, the pace of what we're doing is instructional. It's not meant to be performance or competition speed, but it's meant to show each individual technique as you go. The next thing we're going to do is first form, or at least this is the first form we teach at Calvin Chin's Martial Arts Academy. This is Moy Fa Kuen, the Plum Flower Fist set. If you notice our logo here, if I come a little closer, you see we have that white part is the flower, has 5 petals, and that 5 petals also happens to describe the mapping of the footwork in this form. So here we are. Make fists, raise them up, left hand middle, salute. Step back, close. Step out, high block, low block. Pull your foot back, cross step, dragon. Right fist on top, Chun Cheurng. Scoop. Step up, uppercut. Remove. Punch. Squatting. Uppercut. Remove. Punch. Toe out, cat stance. High block, hammer fist. Turn to the rear. Drunken punch. Remove high block. Punch. Squatting. Uppercut, sliding step, punch. Squatting. Elbow up. Step up, press, lift, cut. Double palm strike. Remove, punch. Toe out, step to the rear. Come across, left hand underneath. Elbow, low corner back fist, high block. I'm going to move just so I don't leave the view of the camera. We're here, palm strike to the chest with a vertical palm. Lift, high block. Outside crescent with your left, hop. Kick, press, bong seal, back fist. Remove, punch. Right fist on top. Step back, clear the way, Chun Cheurng. Palm strike to the chest. Palm strike to the waist. Pull your foot back, scoop, press, kick, punch, dragon. Right fist on top, Chun Cheurng. punch, middle block, and salute. 1, 2, 3, and we close. Deep breathing. So, just a quick little overview of that, of the Moy Fa Kuen form. We know that there are some other schools that do Moy Fa Kuen that may have a slightly different sequence, and that's totally fine. We're certainly not critical of the way anyone else does things. We do things the way that we do them because that's how it was handed down to us. So our original teacher, Grandmaster Kung Fu, who was a student of late great Grandmaster Lam Zhou, he learned it that way and he handed it down to us, and now we pass that sequence and that tradition on. We did cut out 2 kind of repetitive sides, so all of this stuff actually happens on both sides. After we do this, we would normally go right into this, but A, because we teach kids, and B, because it's the first form we teach, and C, because it's a repetition of something we're already working in that form, we cut out those 2 repetitive sections. But outside of that, this is how the form was handed down to us, and that's why we do it that way. The next form we're going to do is Lao Ga Kuen. This is the second form we teach here, the Lao family fist set. All of these forms are Lam family Hung Kuen. After the second form, Lao Ga Kuen, we're going to do Bambu Kuen. Bambu Kuen is not a Hung Kuen form. It's a 7-star praying mantis form known as the crushing step. We have that in our system because our great Grandmaster Lam Zhou had a colleague who was a very proficient 7-star praying mantis master, and he liked the form, and so he grabbed that form and put it in his curriculum. And so again, it's a tradition. That's what we do as well. But it's the only mantis form that we have in our curriculum. Okay, so second form coming right up. We make fists, raise them up. Middle block, turn, cat stance, salute. Step back, pull the elbows in, shift, pivot, pivot, middle block, cat stance, salute. Step back, we turn, feet together, we close. I'm going to move just to the side so the camera can still see. 2 punches to the ears, 2 punches down, open, push out, scoop. Right fist on top, cross step with your left, left hand Chun Kyo, cat stance, punch. So some of you will remember this from the 5 stances drill. Sit back, cover, high block, low block. Now this part changes from the 5 stances. We chop to the waist, pull the foot back, scoop, press, kick, punch. Right fist on top, step in, step back, clear the way, Chun Kyo, sliding step, punch. Step all the way through. We're going to set the position up. So this is a transition position. So left hand is the height of the sternum. Right hand's in a fist, but in a high block position. We're going to turn the waist and strike down at a diagonal. Left hand goes middle block, and the right hand goes towards your left knee. Lift, Songgong, elbows down, dragon claw, turn, toe out, big cross step, high block, low block, we spin out, palm strike to the waist, pull your foot back, scoop, press, kick, hop, thrust, cut, double chop, and again, transition position, cross step Tindu, kick, press, and Phoenix Eye, right fist on top, Chun Kyo, punch. Left hand on top, we're going to fold, strike. Dropping palm, back fist. Right fist on top, Chun. Sliding step, punch. Again, step all the way through, leaning, set the position, waist and stance. Songgong, elbows down, dragon, turn, cross step, high block, low block, spin, palm strike, pull your foot back, scoop, press, kick, hop, thrust, cut, chop, cross step Tindu, Wang Chang Hoi, Phoenix Eye. Both palms out, turn. cross step, flip. Step through, offset, turn, leaning, double palm. Cross step, scoop. This is called butterfly palms. Cross step with a unicorn step. Step through, push. Step in, step out. Low block, uppercut, middle. Step in, step out, low block, uppercut, middle. I'm going to move just so you can see on camera. Step straight back, low block, middle block. Reach out with your left hand, turn the waist, chop to the neck. Adjust your foot, elbow. Dropping palm, back fist. Pivot, lift, 1, 2. Cross step open, trap. Thrust, middle, salute. And we step back, 1, 2, 3, and close. Okay, once again, we'll do deep breathing. Okay, I want to try to straighten this mic out just a little. And a quick sip of water. Okay, so hopefully one of the things, hopefully you see in my movement, but something I know you see in my sifu's movement is precision, accuracy, and a lack of muscular tension. This doesn't mean that the positions don't have strength, but it does mean we rely on the structure for strength of position versus the muscle. If you're relying only on your muscle, you're going to come across someone who's stronger, and then you can't beat them. So all of this stuff, we're trying to set up good structural position and use that as our advantage. Okay? So the next form, it looks a lot different than the first two forms we did, and actually the two forms after that as well, because it's, first of all, Hongga or Hung Kuen is a southern style. It's considered southern long, whereas like Wing Chun would be considered southern short. White eyebrow, all those things would be, southern mantis would be considered southern short. But Bumble Kuen, the crushing step form, is a 7-star praying mantis. It's a long, northern long form. So things are going to be a little more stretched out. The stances aren't quite as wide in that offset position. The leaning stance even is a little closer. But it does have its application and its reason for doing things the way that we do them according to those northern principles. So we're going to do that now. We'll take our time, nice and easy through it, really trying to show position and transition. And again, I will have to adjust my stepping because this form takes up a lot more real estate this way across the room. And so just to stay in frame, I'll take some adjustment steps, which when you're practicing the form on your own, hopefully you won't have to do that. All right, so here we are. We bend the knees, lift the hands, elbows out, press and straighten the legs. High block leaning, hop, punch. We come across with the right hand. Switch your stance and switch your hand. Hop, 1, 2, 3, thrust. Step all the way through, punch. Big circle as you cross step, grab and drop. Knee up, punch. Put your foot down first. Elbow, back fist, turn, capture, put the foot down first, pull. High block, ginger fist, scoop, and vertical. Hop, 1, 2, 3, thrust, punch. Feet together, lift, 1, 2, 3, hop, 1, 2, 3, thrust, step all the way through, punch, grab, step back, grab, turn your waist in stance, pull. Low block, palm strike, step up, leaning. I'm actually going to move just to stay in front of the camera here. Sorry about that. Leaning stance, left elbow, toe out, cat stance, right elbow. Reach out, high block, toe out, drop the elbow, step through, chop, scoop, pivot, double elbow, step out, pull, leaning stance, pivot, pivot, punch. We toe out. Sweep, 1, sweep, 2, vertical, kick, hop, kick, thrust, strike, feet together, uppercut, press, lift, press, lift, press, lift, middle. 1, 2, 3. Again, I'm going to take a half step back, toe out, step up, uppercut, sweep. 1, 2, 3. Turn, pak bu, lift, sweep on the left, sweep, sweep and chop, hook, back fist, pull, hop. 1, 2, 3. Thrust, step all the way through, punch, pivot, horizontal to vertical, pivot, step up, double elbow, and we closed. Deep breathing. So I think one of the things that we often see is kind of maybe misunderstood or misinterpreted as a movement is the footwork. When you sweep, we see a lot of people just stepping in. But actually, if you're going to sweep, you have to have the direction to take the person off their feet. So you would toe out and turn the weight. So a simple thing you can do to help develop a good sweep is if you stand to the side with your hands on your waist, you toe out, and it's going to help you to so that you get that sweep. And it looks like Sifu's here.
Following? Yeah.
So, I mean, we have right now 946 subscribers. So there's definitely people watching.
Yes.
We've had some of the usual people like Kaio, Dale has been watching a lot of the night classes. But we also have people, all
Yeah.
over the world. We have people Brazil, South America.
So while you run through the forms, has anyone talked about going through the sequence?
Actually, what we've had is people say they appreciate seeing the whole form because they don't always see the whole form. A lot of times, even in an instructional video, you might see a piece of it.
Yeah.
But so I think people really do respond well to that. But yeah, you should put a whole and see
Yeah.
kind of what's tracking well.
Yeah.
You want the mic on, Sifu? I'll turn mine off.
So that's one of the issues, when we do these live stream and we're not doing them as often as we did earlier since we started March 15th during the initiation, the initial shutdown. So we were doing more content for students that were watching, mainly for students that were from the brick and mortar, but then we've established more of a viewership from people away, and they don't have access to the location.
As an example, we have viewers. Kyle just said hello to everyone, so we know that he's watching.
Yeah. So obviously, learning a sequence is not as easy if we're just running through it. So that's why I was wondering if people are interested in kind of backing it off a little bit. We run through the sequence a lot of times in the classes. You see those there on the evenings and Saturday morning. But the thing is, if you want to learn the sequence, if you give us some kind of a clue as to which form you might be working on, that we can do a section of it, then we can kind of focus on a little piece and you can build off of that. Because seeing the form is just part of it. And then for those of you who have already learned the form and you like to watch sequences and so forth to see what the style offers, or maybe you want to see how your form compares to some of the forms that you're seeing that are presented here, just for reference, then that's also one of the reasons why you would want to watch the form. But ultimately, once you've learned the form, if you learned it here, learning the form is only a sequence. As I mentioned before, sequence is really housing all these postures. So what is some of your goals when you're learning your form, and what is your ability to understand what skill level is in the form? So skill level is really how coordinated the movement is, the timing. I call it phases in your transition. So the geometry of your position, all of these things come into play as accuracy. In Tai Chi we say, movement should be slow, should be round, should be even, and should be accurate. In Kung Fu, it should be the same. Movement should be consistent, it should be accurate, and it should have something to reference as a guideline. So when you do your forms, when you set up the side bridge, it has to be in a position so you reference your body. Now when you go like this and you take a step and then you make a fist and you turn, obviously that's pretty broken. Just like when we start off, punch, punch, punch. So that's pretty basic. That's not how you actually would be doing. You would integrate the hands on both sides and you would have a stance. So you wouldn't be practicing your punches and then be in sort of a stance like this. You have to be in a good stance. You have to have a transition. So transition is moving from one position to the next. And the timing should be to finish the movement. So the end of the movement is really your posture. The setup is your transition. Your setup is the preparing for the final position. Then the transition is in between. So the transition will constantly evolve because your coordination is different. Everyone's coordination is slightly different because we're made up slightly different. So how we take it in is one thing. So when you chun kill and you're sliding step, your punch should finish with the stance. So when you're here, you're going like this. There's your position. The next stance is going to horse. So you should finish at the same time. So that's what you should be focusing on now. There's a lot of things in the 5 stances. When you go through 5 stances, yeah.
Sorry, not to interrupt, but actually kind of a question that aligns with what you're talking about now. So Kaio actually said he's been thinking a lot after watching the classes lately about how to do a nice horse stance and a cross stance, and he said, like, where should his center of gravity be? He says, like, in the horse stance, sometimes he feels his hips going backwards to balance it.
Mm-hmm. So, what he's talking about is feeling your position, relative position. Obviously, if you know what off balance is, you don't feel in control. So in a horse stance, your weight is distributed about 50-50, and then transitioning is when you start to shift some weight. So 50-50 means if you're 100 pounds, it's 50 pounds on each side. But during the transition, it starts to shift, but you always have a relationship of 100%. So when you shift right or left, it depends. Now, offset horse, you're here. Now, where's your center? Your center is always moving. Your center of mass is never constant because you're transitioning. Now, when you cross step, there's more weight on the front leg than the back leg. In fact, sometimes the transition becomes a toe-heel relationship where you're turning. So a cross stance, like a scissor stance, is like this. So where should your center be? Your center is actually here. So I'm looking in that direction. If I face you directly in the mirror, my center is here. So there's your position. Okay. If I switch my foot to here, my hands are here, but my center is still here. So this is where your center should be. So your center is over this foot. Your spine is where it's dropping into the heel of that right before the heel of this foot, actually. So it varies, but actually, if you go into a position, depending on where you're going in the next move is kind of where you're transitioning through. So in other words, if I'm here and I twist, I want my weight to come back. You don't just twist out here. You actually would pull it back. Now, if you're in a leaning stance, then you would want to pull it across toward this center line. Don't turn it out like this, then you open yourself up. So, actually, it's called center of mass. Center of mass is where your body is. If I cut like this, that's the scissor stance. My center is right still here. Meaning my body is over my knee using my center line. I'm not over here. My body is still over here. So the further you go forward, the more you have to twist. You can't just stay here. You have to move. If you're in the dragon flap's tail, your center's still here. If you're in a cat stance, your weight is over this foot. There's very little weight here. So those are leg positions. So that's a leg posture. When we're punching like this, that's an arm position. Two hands, it should be square. If I go like this, my hands come from here. Both hands should be going to the front, okay, and it's centered to here. So really what you're doing is aligning your body in a position in the final position. So if I go like this, I'm aligned here. When I throw my punch, I'm aligned here. It's not over there, it's not over there, it's right here. If I thrust, it's the same through my center, supported by the back foot. So skill level is transitioning, making that alignment, finishing the movement. Accuracy comes from that alignment, the timing to get from point A to point B, punching in a direction that's aligned through that center line, which is really your nose, your fist, and your forward knee. That's your alignment. A palm strike's the same thing. So a lot of times when you're going through your forms, you may not be completing your stance, and you're just doing that. Or maybe shifting partially and not getting it over to here. So your goal is to adjust and turn your body so you align the movement. So if I show you the camera view, you should be like this. All right? So if you're in the frontal view, like cross hand, you're here. Your center's here. You cut like this, you step like this, the line goes through there for your feet, but once I turn, my body's over the knee here, and my palm is like this. When I sit back, then my hand should be here. When I punch, my hand should be there. So those ending movements are like this, or like this. Those are final positions. While you learn it, 1, 2, 3, that's not how you should execute. That's building sort of the interim positions, the phase of the movement. You cross and you're like this. This is setting up, this is finishing. Setting up, finishing. Setting up, finishing, setting up, finishing. So the accuracy of those positions, if you see, right, you're setting up, you're setting up, you're setting up, finishing. Second form, 1, right, 2, 3, 4. That's what you pass through. But when you use it or you're doing the form, it's like that. So you're really going through the basic geometry or the structures of the form to build sort of body intelligence. Your hand is here, your hand is here, your hand is here, your hand is here, your hand is here. Each piece of your body has to have a position. So I'll just show you 45 degrees. Straight, center line, palm out, punch, fist is there. So those are all the pieces that are going out, right? But the thing is, can you get this to come here when you turn? Can you get this to come here when you punch? And then at the same time, my hand is here, 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 turn, step, turn, there. So the alignment, the adjustment gives you a posture that is very precise and consistent. You know, if I go like this, or I go like this, 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 those are all exactly in the same place. Why? 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 Right? Why? Because it's muscle memory. My body knows this position, so there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Once it goes there, you know it's going to be in a position that when you strike, it's going to be hitting at the right point. So that's what you have to do. When my hand goes like this, or like this, that's exactly where it should be going. High block, strike, high block, strike, high block, strike. So if you took that video and you go back, you can look at them frame by frame and you lay it on top of each other. If they're accurate, they should be precisely the same. So that's what you learn when you do forms. You learn transition, you learn final position, and you learn the alignment of your body. So all of those things tie together to define your skill level, and then how you connect posture to posture becomes the form. So say posture to posture, what would that be like? Say in maybe Bangbu Kun, okay? So when we're here, we're like this. Once you're here, 1, 2, 3. Now the hand stays here. Don't pull it back here. You step through, you're there. So from the front view, how does that look? You're like this, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you see that when you're in a position, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So everything moves. You're like a machine. You go from one point to a next point. It stops. It stops. It stops. How do you get that to happen at the same time? Just through repetition. Because we're creatures of habit. This is second nature. It becomes a habit. So I know that that's going to go there every single time. Well, I think it's going there every single time. You have to tell me if you... So you have to send the chat in and say, yeah, it was pretty close, or it was exactly the way you thought. So anyways, because I really can't see myself. In fact, I never watch my videos, so I'm not sure if I'm telling the truth. So, but if it is, give me a thumbs up. And if you give me a thumbs up, get someone to subscribe. So every time I do this, okay.
Accuracy subscription challenge.
Okay. So anyways, I think we're pretty close. That's something to work with. So just to give you that was a sample. I don't want to get cramps in my arms, so so I'll just do that many for today. Anyways, it was nice having you watch, and follow the video, subscribe, share this, get some thumbs up, and seeing often is good, just like doing it often is good. But the more you see it, the more people should subscribe. All right. See you next time.